Fox News alert now in a newly declassified FBI document about its Russia investigation. The document shows President Trump's first intelligence briefing as a candidate back in August of 2016 was led by agents who had already opened an investigation into his team's ties to Russia. A summary of that briefing would later be filed as part of the so-called Crossfire Hurricane investigation. KT McFarland is a former Deputy National Security Advisor to President Trump and author of the new book, Revolution, Trump, Washington, and We the People. KT, good to see you. Let me just pull up a little bit of this memo from Joe Pientka that was written on August the 30th of 2016. The actual briefing happened on the 17th. He says, quote, during the ODNI, Office of Director of National Intelligence briefs, Reiter actively listened for topics or questions regarding the Russian Federation. During a discussion regarding nuclear testing, Russia and China were brought up as cheating on the nuclear test ban treaty. Trump asked, who's worse? Redacted stated they are both bad, but Russia is worse. Trump and Christie turned toward each other, and Christie commented, I'm shocked. It was President Trump, Governor Chris Christie, Michael Flynn, all in that meeting, which now appears to have been a fishing expedition and not an intelligence briefing.
You know, this is just simply extraordinary. A defensive briefing. I set up a number of defensive briefings for the National Security Council and White House staff in the beginning of the Trump administration. A defensive briefing is to tell people, particularly people who are not used to handling classified information, this is how you handle it. This is how you dispose of it. You don't leave it on your desk. You don't take it home from work. But the other thing a defensive briefing does is to tell you how to look out for spies. And one of the points that we made was, look, you're new to this. People are going to try to recruit you. They want to find out what you know. They want to find out what goes on in the White House. So here are the things to watch out for. John, you watch out for all of a sudden your friend network, somebody new pops up, somebody you've never seen before, somebody who's trying to cultivate the friendship. They may look like an average, normal person, but they actually may have some connection to a foreign government. Well, now it turns out that those briefings were not really to warn the Trump administration about other people spying on them. They were covers, they were excuses for the FBI to spy on us. I think that is just the most egregious abuse of power that we've seen in a long time by the FBI.
President Trump brought that very fact up on Hannity last night. Let's listen, KT, to what he said.
They spied on the campaign using the intelligence agencies of our country. This is illegal as can be. This is treason. This is many things you can call it. But Obama and Biden knew everything.
President Trump has long maintained that the campaign was spied on. This would appear to be, at least on the surface, another piece of evidence that he may, in fact, be right.
Yeah, and I think there are a couple of things to observe about this. First, it turns out that the senior officials in the Obama administration and the senior officials in the intelligence community, they all took notes. And they took notes in their own hands. And they were very detailed notes. Now, why did they do that? Well, part of it was maybe because they thought they'd never get caught. And the other part is that maybe it was going to be their insurance policy. If they did get caught, they could blame the boss, blame the next level up. The second thing, John, that's worth noting about these declassified documents, remember, this is not anonymous sources leaking. These are actual documents, pieces of paper, text messages, emails. They're starting to be released of the mid-level people, Pletka, Stroke, others. My question is, once those documents are released, it usually indicates that the Justice Department is done with them. They've already looked through them. They've already talked to these people. And so maybe it's an indication that other heads are going to fall soon.
Yeah, and it also could be an indication that Durham is about to drop the findings of his investigation, though we've heard that may not happen until after the election. One thing I found interesting was that if this was a defensive briefing, why wasn't President Trump and his entourage informed that the Russians were targeting their campaign?
You know, that's what doesn't make any sense, because they were really just using the opportunity to spy on Trump. That's bottom line, spying.
KT McFarland, always great to see you. Thanks for coming in this morning.